Hi everyone, this is me, Heather Headley, and I'm on here live, and I'm going to talk to you today about how to calm the fuck down. This is also known as nervous system regulation. And the first couple things I want to say is that this is terrifying for me to be on camera, especially live. So I just want to call it out and say it like it is. I'm going to say every 5 seconds. So if that makes you crazy because you're type A and you get worked up about stuff like that, then you do not need to be here right now. See, I'm doing it all the time. I'm not polished and I am not scripted and I'm not robotic. I was doing that and it felt so inauthentic. So I'm just taking a step out there and I am allowing myself to be really scared right now and just work through it. So thank you for bearing with me. I am going to be authentic. I am going to be real. I know a lot of shit and I want to share it with you because I know that I can help people and that's why I'm on this earth. So I just have to get through all of these jitters as I do these things over and over and get more comfortable. And thank you for bearing with me for right now. So I talk to people on a daily basis that need to learn how to regulate their nervous systems. I tell them to stop. I tell them to calm down. And they look at me like, how do you do that? And most people say, I have no idea how to do that. And so I wanted to make it really simple. And so the way that you do that is by calming down and by feeling. Most of us are in a position where we do not have appropriate emotional responses to things. We have no emotional resilience, and that is because we live in fight or flight almost all of the time, almost all of us. And when we're in fight or flight all the time, our entire brain is not working. Only part of it is. So if you think about this on a daily basis, we are making decisions, big time decisions a lot of times, with only part of our brain because we are operating in this fight or flight state because we've been programmed to do that. We don't know any better. And so I'm here to try and help you understand why. And yes, I have notes duct taped to the side of my wall because I didn't want to get lost and just wander around. So I apologize that I'm looking over here, but that's the deal. So when you're living in fight or flight all the time, and then you get triggered by something, which triggered is a buzzword, and I fucking hate buzzwords, but I'm using it because it makes perfect sense. So when we're in fight or flight all the time, and then we get triggered by some sort of an emotional thing, then we're fucked because we're not operating from a place where we can handle it anyway, and then we're triggered on top of it. And so we are all just in this super wackadoo state all of the time. So I want to talk to you about finding your bliss point. And I'm coining this phrase because it makes sense to me and I hope it makes sense to you. This center line, the one that's straight in the background, that is what we want to be doing all the time. We want to be moving from our center. We want to be closest to what I'm calling the bliss point. But most of us are living our life like this, and these are the super amazing highs. So we're on vacation, we're on the top of a mountain, it's the most beautiful scene, we're with the perfect person that we love so much, we have not a care in the world, we feel fucking awesome. And then something crazy happens and we feel fucking horrible. So we go back and forth bouncing this volatile thing from bliss to horrible all the time. And that is no way to live. That is not a regulated nervous system. So what we want to do is to be operating really close to this bliss point all the time so that our emotional responses are much more calm and from a centered place, okay? And so the way that we do that is by stopping, breathing, and feeling. And I recommend that people do this on a daily basis because this is how we retrain our nervous system. First, we have to stop. We have to kick ourselves out of fight or flight, and we have to practice this so that our body gets used to this. And once we've practiced it enough, our body starts recognizing that living in fight or flight is not fucking normal. It is not a normal thing. So stopping looks like a million different things. You could count your breaths. 1 in, 1 out. 2 in, 2 out. 3 in, 3 out. Something like as simple as that can really bring you down out of that fight or flight. You can also take a water bottle or a marker and toss it back and forth. Anything that you're doing from the different side of your body to the other is going to ground you and kick you out of that fight or flight. Tamping your feet. This is really grounding, and it's also kicking you out of that and bringing you back down into the parasympathetic nervous system. If you're in a meeting and you can't flail around like I am right now, you can just move your right thumb, then your left thumb, right toe, left toe, etc. Just back and forth so that you are kicking yourself out of that sympathetic nervous system or the fight or flight, and you are teaching yourself, you're normalizing parasympathetic or the resting phase, okay? The next thing that we need to do is intentional breathing. And the two that I recommend that are the easiest are box breathing and the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Box breathing is super simple. You're breathing in for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and holding for 4. In for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. And you just keep doing that as long as you want. 4-7-8 breathing technique is in through your nose for 4, hold for 7, and then out through your mouth. I recommend with pursed lips, like you're blowing through a straw. So when you breathe in, you want to take a big inhale. You want to fill your entire torso. And then you want to hold your breath for 7, and then you want to exhale forcefully while you're making a sound for 8. Like so. And then you just keep doing that. I recommend 4 to 8 cycles per day, but as much as you want, as long as you're practicing something for just a few seconds a day, you will start to normalize the resting phase and the parasympathetic nervous system as opposed to you being in fight or flight all the time. Just a few seconds will help in the beginning, but you have to do something regularly so that you're regulating, you're retraining and you're regulating. The next one is feel. I know, I'm going to lose a lot of people here. Most people don't want to do this. We are not programmed to feel. Feeling is something that you do when you're done with all of your tasks or you get past this thing in your life or what have you. But we need to be feeling on a daily basis. We need to allow our feelings to come up and out, because when we don't, we are just pushing them down. They're getting stuck in our bodies, and we're walking around with that for our entire lives. And we're also volcanoes because, as I mentioned before, we are almost always in fight or flight. And then when we're repressing our emotions on top of that, we're like a volcano and we're walking around, and then all of a sudden something super meaningless, usually, will trigger us, and we will have this volcanic eruption, and our emotional response will be completely off course because we're reacting and we're not responding. So you need to start practicing on a daily basis, getting in touch with what you're feeling. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? And allow those feelings to come up and out. Even if you just need to say to people, hey, I'm really pissed today. I don't know why, but I just want you to know that I'm pissed. Or I'm anxious, or I'm sad, or I'm grieving, or whatever the thing is, just allow it to happen. Because this is how we build emotional resilience. This is how we can regulate our nervous systems by calming down and by feeling. So I recommend doing this on a daily basis. I do it before I get out of bed every morning. That's what my practice is, but you can do it however you want. It's different for everyone, and something will feel different for you. You can choose whatever you want in this as well, whatever stopping activity you do or whatever breathing technique that you do. Make this work for you. It has to be doable, and it has to be in a time frame that you will actually make it happen. But I will promise you that if you start doing these things on a daily basis, you will regulate your nervous system and you will calm the fuck down. I hope you guys have learned something today. Thank you for being with me. I am going to be putting out posts for the next 3 days that will go into each one of these stop, breathe, and feel a little bit more deeply. So please share this with anybody that you know needs to calm the fuck down. And so we'll just keep learning together. Have a great day.